Namaste, Jai Bharat. Bangladesh was doing very well, was gradually progressing from what they had been in the past. They were doing very well, and especially you compare Bangladesh with Pakistan from where they came into existence. Look at the situation in Pakistan in spite of their resources and manpower, and look at where Bangladesh had been heading to. But then the whole thing has got destroyed. There are reasons, there are interference from outside, very planned calculation. I think those who plan such things, interventions, and those who plan to destabilize a nation under the assumption that that would help them are doing a great mistakes for themselves primarily, and it's only secondary for those people, others, those affected people. Now, Bangladesh, they could intervene and destroy because they were susceptible to such kind of intervention. Same kind of situations we find in Manipur. People attempt, but the results are yet to be seen. They're really coming. Now, the deep state interest, we know. The interventions from outside, we know. They're all there. But they're reading. Let me not speak in detail about the deep state or other similar phenomenon would go out into the internal matters of many nations, because in case of Bangladesh, someone wanted an island for them to have a base. These things won't help them in the long run. That's a different matter. But hardly people look at the long run benefits, etc. So they would see that it is possible for them to intervene. But when it comes to Bharat, let's take some lessons from Bangladesh. When it comes to Bharat, they have not understood the situations of Bharat, the nature of Bharat, the real existence of Bharat, because they haven't understood the Hindu Dharma. This is very important for us, the existence of Hindu Dharma. When you see Bharat with a non-Bharatiya vision or perspective, you will not be able to understand or comprehend Bharat as one unit. What first strikes a person who looks at Bharat is the diversity. In fact, they call it as diversity. I am talking about these things as variation. The varieties, the variations of the oneness in Bharat. When you say the variations of oneness in Bharat, it makes a difference than calling it as diversity. They are not diverse. They are variations of one aspect. Now, multiple languages to begin with. Multiple ways of eating, dressing, regionally, the geographical differences, from deserts to glaciers, we have it in our nation. All these things are variations of one ultimate, one principle, but these variations are read as differences. So it gives an impression to a person untrained about Bharat that it's possible for one to make it into multiple pieces. You see, way back, when the British were colonial rulers of Bharat, precisely this is what the parliamentarian in UK, Wilfred Shaban Blunt, said. He thought it's simple because they don't understand. Many things many people don't understand about Bharat, especially about the Hindu Dharma. There's nothing aggressively present to you from the Hindu Dharma. People look at Hindu Dharma and reduce Hindu Dharma to pandits and pujas and snake charmers or things like that, and the round big bindis on the forehead. That's it. They are unable to go beyond that. But what they don't know, or what they can't know, is an epistemology of coexistence originating from the Vedas. Hardly anyone goes to the Vedas. And hardly anyone goes to the Vedas because the Vedas are such that people can't understand it easily. One needs a teacher to discuss Vedas. This, of course, none other than Maharishi Aurobindo, who went about writing their book, Secret of the Vedas, could not or did not, I think did not is most appropriate, did not go beyond a few mandalas of the very first Veda only, the Veda. And he stops, he says, no, you can't speak about Vedas because you need a teacher to speak about Vedas. And why is it so? Because Vedas are not giving conclusive statements. There is no end statement or there is no end understanding from Vedas. Every sukta is dynamic. They have to be understood at given time and space. And this interpretative endeavor has to go on when you're at the Vedas. Has to go on. So there must be time to time, place to place, step to step interpretation. And these interpretations are not universal. Nothing universal. The universality has to be deduced, given your context, and above all, your mental requirement, what you want from the Vedas. Everything depends on what you want from the Vedas when you go to the Vedas. So, there cannot be a universal interpretation which can cater to everybody and for everyone's need. Because each need is specific, and this specific needs of multiple individuals calls for multiple ways of looking at it and multiple ways of understanding it. We will not call it as interpretation, because interpretation is again a different term. And what the Hindu Dharma taught us. Hindu Dharma is an offshoot of the Veda Upanishadic knowledge tradition. Vedas definitely fundamental. And the Hindu Dharma had been and is promoting or insisting indirectly on coexistence of the multiple and plural. Coexistence of the multiple and plural is natural phenomenon with the Hindu Dharma. Now look at the Hindu Dharma. There are many temples. You say that there are many castes. Yes, there are many castes. And then look at the intra-relationship between castes, one caste to another caste. They are not one that of contradiction and conflict. They are one that of coexistence with all variations. Of course, variations are variations, but variations are different from difference. Variations are different from differences. See the example. The temples. There are no caste temples. There are no caste temples that this temple is meant for this particular caste and so on. No. There are no caste priests. They all belong to one class. It used to be the Brahmins in the past, but then that was also not compulsory or necessary. Anybody could be a priest. Even today, in present times, it's officially anybody could be a priest. There are Ved Patshalas and there are Vidyapeeths which would train anyone into priesthood. There is caste. Doesn't matter. You see, there's another interesting thing. You think that Brahman is the topmost in the Hindu structure, but how about a sannyasi? Do you know that if when a person who suppose is a Brahman Santan, suppose is a Brahman who is wearing that holy thread, when he takes sannyasa, he removes his yajñopavita. He transcends the caste. That's it. The castes are only that much of importance. The moment you are a sannyasi, you go beyond caste. And the moment you are any kind of a divya purusha, you go beyond the caste. So caste has only that kind or that much of importance. The functioning of any caste is only at the very, very mundane level, not at a different level. And at the transcendental level, it's entirely different. It's entirely different. So when a person becomes sannyasi, if he happens to wear a holy thread, which is Jopavita, he has to remove it. Because he is beyond that. He goes beyond that. So the Hindu Dharma is the actual uniting aspect of Bharat. Wherever you are, whichever language you speak, you go to the same temple, you follow the same rituals. Kashmir to Kanyakumari, wherever there is Hindu Dharma today, Hindu Dharma had been uprooted from places like Afghanistan, and many such places has been uprooted. And in many places like Sri Lanka, they exist in the Buddhistic version. Fine, in Japan, exist in the Buddhistic version. Buddhism is an extension from Hindu Dharma with their own autonomy. So, they have not understood Hindu Dharma, and you don't understand Hindu Dharma so easily. It takes long time. And once you understand Hindu Dharma, there will not be any attempts to disintegrate Bharat. Now, the people like those who are behind disintegrating a society, for instance, like deep state people, there are many of our politicians today, especially those who are in the opposition. For benefits, they take support from them. And they think they will be able to swim through this. But they have absolutely zero idea that what they are going to face or what they are going to fight. Face and fight means they will not be suppressed or they will not be destroyed, but they will not be successful against the formidable authority and power of a unified Bharat through the Hindu Dharma. Of course, the Hindu Dharma and the Sanskriti. These things keep us together. Sanskriti is a phenomenon that keeps Bharat one. And Hindu Dharma is another phenomenon which keeps the Sanskriti intact and hand it over from generation to generation. You just can't be a Hindu meaningfully until you spend a lot of time in understanding what is it to be a Hindu. Just because one is born in a Hindu family, he can't claim to be Hindu in that sense of the term. One has to become a Hindu. Like born again Christian is a simple ritual, but becoming a Hindu is a long life's process. Many have become Hindus without realizing they are becoming authentic Hindus. Many. And the Sangha gives a training, of course. If you're connected with the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, they give you multiple avenues to become a genuine Hindu. And whether you accept that or not is an individual's question and choice. But you get plenty of avenues, opportunities to realize the Hindu within you. And once you're at it, it becomes very easy. It becomes very easy. So, one has to understand the Hindu Dharma. Being a Hindu, being in Bharat also, the point is one has to struggle to become a Hindu, which is very, very difficult task. And because of this, there are different levels of existence. When you go into one level, you will realize you have to go to another level, and to another level, and to another level. You don't know to how many levels you have to go. This is what keeps Bharat united. The perception peripheral which people get is misleading to them. They would think, okay, it's easy to make a cut through, drive through. It's about 200 years the British thought they will be successful. Look at the very confident statements of Macaulay's, people like Macaulay. Oh, all the idolaters will vanish from Bharat. They will all be gone in 50 years' time. And look at it, what's happening. So, they don't understand. So, they will keep attempting. And one thing, what I'm sure of that, whether we struggle against them or not, I also say that be careful. Let's remain careful. Let's remain careful about such devastating, destructive agencies, forces, etc. But even if one is not, you can't be destroyed is the truth. even if you are not aware of all these things. You have an inner nature which is existing within you that you go through generations, can't simply be overthrown. So our togetherness is our right. Our oneness is through the Rig Veda's last sukta in the last mandala. Our oneness is within us. Our oneness is within our blood, and Bharat would remain one. Bangladesh is only an example in front of us, which others would attempt on us. But even if we don't do anything, these things don't affect us, is a fact of the matter. Start from Ghaznavi or Gauri, whosoever. Their attempts and the results. Many others' attempts and the results. Whatever it is, on a final analysis, a Hindu remains a Hindu and Hindu remains together. We will see we'll meet again with some other thoughts. Till then, Namaste, Jai Bharat, Jai Shri Ram.